Hey, I'm Curtis Johnson, an intern down here in Perry, Georgia for utility service. And I've been asked from United Water to do a video about my internship. So in this little video, we're going to talk about myself, why did I choose engineering, how did I find out about the internship, how is it going, what do I hope to gain from it, and also my plans for the future. All right, first off, we have part one about myself. I'm 18 years old from Atlanta, Georgia. Pretty much lived there all my life. And I go to Auburn University. I'll be a sophomore in the fall. I'm sure you've heard about us not only because we're a big school, but recently because we won the national championships, Cam Newton, and all that good stuff. So it's just such a great college. I know I'm out of state because I live in Georgia. Obviously, Alabama, so I have to, out of state fees and all that, but it's totally worth it. I feel that I'm gaining something there that I wouldn't gain anywhere else. So I love it there. All right. For part two of the video, we have why did I choose engineering? And engineering just always seemed like a clear-cut choice for me from the beginning. As a kid, I always liked math and science, and as I got older, I tried to find a major that integrated those two. And as I found out about more majors as I got in high school, engineering just always seemed like the clear-cut choice from the beginning. I've always liked science. That has always been my favorite subject when it comes to school, and I just happen to be good at math, so it kind of seemed like the perfect choice. And engineering is such has such a just a wide variety of options you could choose, and in today's economy, it's probably the best job out there you can have in terms of growth and stability and job outlook and projections for the future. So I think it's a clear cut choice. Another reason why I chose engineering was because as a country we kind of shy away from those harder subjects such as math and science and physics and all that, and I never really took that into account until I left high school and I started watching specials on the country's education on CNN and all that. And it's funny to me because as a kid I never shied away from that stuff. I was always interested to see what was going on in science, or want to know in high school what were we going to learn the next day in physics. So another reason why it's important to have take a major such as engineering or science and math is I think it's very important to the future of this country, to the world. Technology progresses society, mankind. I mean, the only difference between us and the caveman is mainly technology. So that's why I think it's such important to have people like me and others who to innovate, to take mankind and the world to a whole nother level. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the goal, the purpose behind technology is to simply to make the world easier and to make the things we do on a daily basis easier and to progress life. So that's mainly what I want to do, and that's what mainly got me into engineering as a whole. All right, part three is simply how did I find out about the internship, and I found it through the United Negro College Fund website. What mainly attracted me was, the simple words $10,000. Once I saw that, I clicked on it, found out, engineering major and all the other application necessaries that you have to have to apply for it. So I applied for it, even though it said you had to be a sophomore. That was kind of confusing because I was a freshman at the time. But I took the chance, did it anyway, and I was so happy when I found out that I got it. I think my mom would like to take credit that she told me about it. I'm not exactly sure. I think I found it rather than she told me, but hey, who knows? But that's how I found it, and you know, I'm just so happy. I just happened, just go searching one day and found it because if I didn't, I would probably be in Florida. I also got a NASA internship, but I'm happy to be here anyway, and I'm just so happy in general that I found it. All right, now we're off to part four, which is how's the internship going? And overall, it's been going pretty well. I've been busy. They've been really keeping me busy, doing a lot of work, just pretty much just doing whatever needs to be done, whatever someone asks me to, and different projects and all that. Utility service deals mainly with water tanks and the renovation of water tanks and the giant, giant over like 100 feet water tanks that you see in cities and all that. They deal with the renovations and paintings and chemicals that go inside those tanks and different products that are used to keep the tanks, keep the water inside it drinkable, and just tons of tons of different stuff. I mean, when I thought here at first, I thought I was gonna be like, oh, oh yeah, work, yeah. But it turns out at that it wasn't like that at all. It was, there was a lot to do from the get go. From the second day, I was pretty busy. The first day, of course, it was introductions and meeting everybody, but it's been a really great experience, fun, and I think that's why time went by so fast. They've really been keeping me busy, and it's just been great. Even though this isn't exactly the type of within civil engineering that I want to do, this involves the utility side of engineering. I want to do the structural side of civil engineering. So even though this wasn't exactly the field within civil that I wanted to do, it was great to see this side of it because you never know what job opportunities might come up in the future. Where this side is, it has to do with that job. So this was just the perfect opportunity, and it's just been, it hasn't been anything but great. Okay, if you haven't noticed by my clothes, we're on a new day of filming. But to go on to continue on about how the internship is going, you know, it's funny when you drive past a water tank, 200-foot water tank, you just drive past it, kind of like, whatever, water tank, and move on about your day. But there's so much money, innovation, time, income, jobs. There's companies that make, tiny, simple to the eye inventions that play a major role in water tanks and drinking water and getting that water to treatment plants. And it's funny just how complex this company and business really is because it doesn't appear to be. And I think that's one of the best things about this internship, just see how much detail really goes into something that we see every day but generally don't think too much about. So that's been fun as well. All right, now we're off to part five, which is, what do I hope to gain from the internship? And, it's funny how we always hear that quote that maybe use maybe like 20% of what you learn in school for your actual job once you get out of school. Well, it's funny because I've seen that exactly here. As an engineering major, I kind of get the worst of the worst when it comes to class. The hard calculus, the physics, all the crazy math, the sciences and whatnot. And I've been getting paid great money to internship here, and I haven't been using too much of it. So it's funny how I really got to see that. But what I do like is the respect that engineers have in the workplace, and it's the same respect that we have at school, like at college. People see that we have to take all that hard stuff and like, ooh, oh man, like I give you credit because I couldn't take that stuff in my wildest dreams. And it's kind of the same in the workplace. So it's funny to see, and it's also great to see the respect that engineers have in the workplace. And I'm very much looking forward to that. Once I get a job of my own, once I'm out of school. So it's just really great seeing that respect that engineers get from everyone in the workplace, managers, owners, no matter what. And it's also great to see the variety of jobs an engineer can have. I know a guy here named David who's a civil engineer, graduated from Georgia Tech, but he's a manager also, and he manages about 10 guys. So it's great to see the flexibility that an engineering degree can get you in the workplace. One thing I always hear interns say is that when they come back from their cross and internships, that they become even more proactive in their schoolwork because they're actually seeing, what they're working for, what their degree is actually going to get them, and they're excited, from actually doing the internship. So they work even harder in terms of schoolwork, and I'm very excited to see that change within myself. Hopefully I can go back and do even better than what I did before with this internship, actually seeing things in the workplace that's generally similar to what I want to do when I get out of school. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing that change for myself, and hopefully I can take my experiences with this internship, do resumes and all that, and continue to do bigger and better things with all that I've gained here from United Water and utility service. Alright, part 6, which is my plans for the future. I hope I'm not putting anybody to sleep. If I am, I got some good stuff coming up next, right after this part. But my plans for the future, I plan to graduate Auburn in spring 2015 or fall of 2014 if all goes to plan. And Auburn will have a good online degree system for engineers, especially civil. So I want to try to, if all goes well and if I keep what I want to do now, I want to go inside structural engineering, which is a branch inside civil engineering. Because I've always, even though I'm here with utility service, which has to do with water tanks, I mainly want to do within structural engineering, which is, the building of bridges and buildings, skyscrapers, arenas. That's what fascinates me. That's what I want to do. So hopefully go get my master's in that while I'm working as soon as I get out of school. And a company that I'm really looking forward to maybe trying to see, what I can do with them in the future is a company named Brassfield and Gorey that little offices and companies all over the United States. They help build our student center at Auburn, the Georgia Aquarium, and many other football stadiums, corporate headquarters, military facilities, buildings, skyscrapers, just all over the United States. So that's a great company that I would like to work with in the future. Yeah. And I also want to travel, so whatever job opportunity comes along that allows me to travel, I will gladly take that. I really do want to travel and see the world. It's just always been a big part of my life since I was a little kid. I always wanted to get out and travel and all that. So if I find a job that'll let me do that, I will gladly take that without a questions asked. And all throughout the internet, news articles, I like seeing how the job prospects for engineering are looking so well, high pay and job and employment rate increasing income when it comes to engineering jobs. So I just can't wait to get out of school and live that life and get into the job world and get a career going for myself and truly get to say that, hey, I'm an engineer.